Greetings, my fellow freedom low sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LLP Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy Mango, South Florida, and today's date is Tuesday, January 26, 2021. And let's let folks know I'm at Downtown Saloon, located at 10 South New River Drive, in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, along the New River, right behind the courthouse and the county jail, which is on the southeast section of the Andrews Avenue Bridge. And I just got this message via Telegram, doing some observations of what's been happening. And this one here is mainly some reference to Texas. Okay, looks like there's a referendum that has been filed just to declare sovereignty, secession, right? And it's by Representative BIEDERMANN, files Texas Independence Referendum Act. And this happens just today. Today, Representative Kyle BIEDERMANN, Republican from Fredericksburg, filed House Bill 1359, also known as the Texas Independence Referendum Act, which also allows citizens of Texas to vote. Rather, the Texas legislature should create a joint interim committee to develop a plan for achieving Texas independence. It is not a resolution to allow for immediate independence. This legislation will give power directly to the people via referendum and allow Texans the right to discuss, debate, and vote on creating a path towards Texas independence. Regardless of an individual legislator's personal opinion on Texas independence, we ask all representatives and senators to let Texans vote. Representative BIEDERMANN said, "This act simply lets Texans vote. The decision is too big to be monopolized solely by the power brokers in our capital. We need to let Texans' voice be heard. Voters of all political persuasions in Texas can agree on one thing: Washington, D.C. is and has been broken. Our federal government continuously fails our working families, seniors, taxpayers, veterans, and small business owners. For decades, the promises of America and our individual liberties have been eroding. It is now time that the people of Texas are allowed the right to decide their own future. This is not a left or right political issue. Let Texans vote." Our Texas Constitution duly agrees in Article 1, Section 2, which states, quote, "All political power is inherited in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government and subject to this limitation only. They have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient." Thousands of people a year move to Texas to escape the climate of overregulation and taxation. Texas is seen as the bastion of freedom and leader of free enterprise, which has built a robust economy, financial solvency, and capacity for massive energy production worthy of the world stage. These are all indications that the Republic of Texas will not just survive, but thrive as an independent nation. Now it's time for Texas to lead. Very interesting indeed. And now you could thank white privilege, poser, treasonous, globalist President Joe Biden. Yep. If I can say it again. White privilege, globalist Joe Biden, for choosing white poorly. Your executive order on the XL Keystone pipeline has its pros and cons. I'm very critical about it. However, you just let people get laid off on that alone. Welcome to blowback, President Biden. And anyone that praised this man have failed to do their homework. This is what's going to happen. This is what's happening, folks. Technically, it's a 10th Amendment stance. Do I like to see Texas secede from the United States? Absolutely not. Do I like to see them separate from the United States as a federal corporation, which is still unconstitutional under Article 6, Section 2? Damn straight. Time to renounce the United States of America as a federal corporation. The centralization has made a burden for all these years. For a long time, centralization has hurt this republic. And that's the damn truth. And it's interesting here because I was like reading the legislation. I think I can find it here. I'm looking through the legislation. It's very interesting. So, let's see if I have it here. One moment. Yeah, I have it right here. I gotta go to my little Kindle section here. See if they'll let me in. Yep, here it is. And it's like 6 pages long. Okay. And it's pretty clear. A bill entitled relating to proposing a referendum to the people of the state of Texas on the question of whether the state should leave the United States of America and establish an independent republic. Be enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas, Section 1A, a general election to be held in November 2nd, 2021. The voters shall be permitted to vote in a referendum on the question of whether the state should leave the United States of America and establish an independent republic. B, the notice of an election shall be given by inclusion of the proposition in the proclamation by the governor ordering an election on any proposed constitutional amendment to the state constitution, as in the notice of that election given by each county judge, or if no constitutional amendment is proposed, the governor shall order, and each county judge shall give notice for an election proposing the referendum required by this section. C, the proposition shall be printed on the ballot above any proposed constitutional amendment under the heading Referendum Proposition. D, the ballot shall be printed to permit voting for or, one moment, against the proposition. Should the legislator of the state of Texas submit a plan for leaving the United States of America and establishing an independent republic? E, returns of the votes cast on the proposition shall be prepared and canvassed in the same manner as the returns on a proposed constitutional amendment. F, immediately after the results of the election are certified by the governor, the Secretary of State shall transmit a copy of the certification to the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and each member of the legislature. G, the referendum proposed under this section is non-binding on any decision of the legislature the legislature following the submission of the report required by Section 2H of this Act. And it's interesting here. So everything is right on its face. There's Section 2 on here too. A, the Secretary of State shall immediately transmit a copy of the governor's certification of the result or the referendum is required under Section 1 of the Act. 2, 1, President of the United States. 2, Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President of the Senate of the Congress of the United States. And 3, members of the Texas delegation to the Congress of the United States. B, Texas Independence Committee is a joint interim. Hold on here. Looks like I screwed her up here. Sorry about that. Committee establishment to study, make recommendations regarding the most effective and expeditious method by which Texas may be returned to the status as an independent republic. C, committee shall consider one recommendation for amending the Constitution of Texas to accommodate the needs of an independent nation, including A, creation of the new elected and appointed offices, B, the modification of the powers, functions, and titles of existing offices, C, the renaming the state of Texas to the Republic of Texas, D, the removal of unnecessary or undesirable provisions that is solely as a consequence of Texas' status up as a state within the United States of America, and E, the identification of fundamental rights enumerated by the Constitution of the United States of America that may not be accurately preserved in the Constitution of Texas. 2. The recommendations for amending Texas statutes to accommodate the needs of an independent nation, including the creation of new agencies. B. The modification of powers, functions, and names of existing agencies. And C. Identification of necessary and desirable function of government that are provided for under the statutory law of the United States of America, but not adequately described in Texas statute. C. Recommendations regarding transitional issues which must be negotiated with the government of the United States of America, including A. Any necessary or desirable changes in the federal law. B. Determination of citizenship of residents of Texas. C. The disposition of the property and assets of the United States of America is currently in Texas. A. The temporary currency union. E. A free trade agreement. F. Common travel agreement. G. The status of Texans currently serving in the armed forces of the United States of America. H. Any necessary disposition of the Texas portion of the national debt of the United States of America. A collective defense agreement. J. A postal agreement. E. The payment pensions to Texans who have. I'm on my phone, so, folks. Sorry about that. Vested in the pension of programs of the United States of America and its subnational governments. L. A Social Security totalization agreement. And M. Any other transitional issues that the committee may identify. And 4. Recommendations regarding any international convention or multilateral agreement to which an independent Texas may become a party in order to benefit the people of Texas or ensure minimal disruption during a transition period. C. In addition to considering the issues described under subsection B of this section, the committee shall include within its report required under section H of this section a strategy for achieving Texas independence not no later than 60 months after the date of the result of the referendum required under section 1 of this act are certified by the governor. D. The committee is composed of 1. The lieutenant governor. 2. The speaker of the House of Representatives. 3. 4 senators appointed by lieutenant governor. 1 of whom must be the chair of the Senate Committee on State Affairs, and 4 members of the House of Representatives appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. 1 of who must be the chair of the House Committee on State Affairs. E. The Lieutenant Governor and Speaker of the House of the Representatives shall serve as co-chairs of the committee. F. The committee shall convene at call of the co-chairs. G. The committee shall all other powers and duties provided to a special or selected committee by the rules of the Senate and House of Representatives, by Chapter B, Chapter 301 Government Code, and by policies of the Senate and House Committees on Administration. H. No later than December 31st, 2022, the committee shall report the committee's findings and recommendations to the legislature. I. The committee is abolished of this act, expires January 1st, 2023. Section, that's I actually, excuse me about that. Section 3. A. Section 2 of this act takes effect on December 2nd, 2021, but only if the referendum is proposed by the A-Senate legislator. Regular session 2021 on the question of whether the state should plan to leave the United States of America and establish an independent republic is approved by the voters. If the referendum is not approved by the voters, Section 2 has no effect. B. Except as provided by subsection A of this section, this act shall take effect September 1st, 2021. Interesting there indeed. Well, folks, there's a thing called, everything backfires on this, okay? It's called blowback. And this is why I'm pretty amazed on what is going on here. Exciting time to be alive, to be exact. So, hope I didn't mess up here. Yes, so the message is being sent. And I'll do one more here. TEXIT. Referendum bill is now official, and it talks about it here. It's from the TexasNationalistMovement.com, TNE.me, M-E. I'll just read this here. Today's State Representative Kyle BIEDERMANN's legislation that will give the people of Texas a chance to vote on Texas becoming an independent, self-governing nation became official. The Let Texas Vote Act would give Texans an opportunity to head to the polls on November of 2021 and start the process of reasserting of our status as an independent nation. If the people in favor, the bill provides for the establishment of a committee to begin working on a transitional plan which would address all of the issues related to the decoupling from the federal government. This bill is simply to put the question to the people of Texas, even if the legislators don't personally support TEXIT. At a minimum, they should support your right to publicly debate and on the vote on the issue. Your representatives either believe that you are smart and responsible enough to make the decision, or they believe that they know what's best for you regardless of what you think. There is no middle ground. So he recommends here to contact your state representative, let them know what's their thoughts, have them co-sponsor HB 3059, and let them know this will be a voting issue for you in the 2022 election. Well. Very interesting indeed, folks. This is really unbelievable. Like I said, it's been backfiring, and it's been talked about this for a good period of time. You got people in the federal government think they're smarter than everybody else. We have this real friction since like the 1850s and, of course, early 1860s. Okay, like that's before the so-called Civil War. So this is interesting time. I'm just wondering if the clowns in the Biden administration will think about this. You can't call them traitors. They have that 10th Amendment obligation. The voluntary contract, I believe, has been breached multiple times. That's what states' rights is all about. But all the centralization and all these assumptuous know-it-alls, keyboard warriors, can't even tie their own shoelaces, don't even know what this is about. So I tell everyone this. It is a strong message. Even if it doesn't provide, a message is being sent. The 10th Amendment, states' rights, must be preserved to the fullest without any federal intervention. It's all in the Constitution. There's limited powers that the federal government has to do. Those are their obligations with no exceptions. No more piss-poor excuses. No more magic wand theories. Both sides have been playing this game for a very long time. Of course, central banking, Federal Reserve, made it a lot worse than what it is. To all you Trump haters that believe that you gotta blame one man for everything, you've been duped. Now the person you voted in, welcome to blowback. And the truth hurts, doesn't it? Deep down inside, you know I'm right. And that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something that's interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Decorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my speaker page, and you can find a link of the actual bill itself, and you can read it. And if you want to contact me, you can hit me at LokiLuck number 03 at protonmail.com. If you want to do a donation, you could hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/LokiLuck number 3. And if folks out there want to support the movement, do it by any means necessary. Stick to your principles. All right, folks. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demonic resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.